Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Early Wine. We're discussing fall flowers.
Fall flowers. I got a whole plan to decorate my porch with my fall flowers. I'm excited about that.
You know, you get on Facebook and you see those reels, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to do that. Mine never looks like what they do.
Well, I'm getting ready to try one.
I can't wait to see what yours looks like.
I'm going to use a pool noodle hack and put some fake flowers at the top, at the roof line of my porch.
Fake flowers are expensive.
Uh-huh.
Have you noticed that?
So somebody I know, and I won't mention names, wasn't one of us, but somebody in my family bought some fake mums from Amazon.
Right.
It was a reputable place. I mean, it's Amazon, so it's not like, I mean, yes, this person had seen them on Facebook, but knew not to buy from Facebook because so many of those things are
I've
hacks.
gotten taken a couple times and it makes me angry.
Yeah, you can't buy anything off of Facebook. But she did a search on Amazon to see if that same item was on Amazon, and it was, so she purchased it from Amazon, fake mums. The advertisement showed this big barrel of mums. There wasn't different quantities to pick from, and it listed it as, you order this for this price, you get enough to fill this huge thing of mums, okay? She was very excited about these mums, because they're very realistic looking fake mums.
That's what I've seen.
And they were not super cheap, but she thought this will be perfect because I'm probably not going to water my mums and not going to kill them. They'll look great all season. So this particular shipment took a long time to get there. It wasn't 2-day shipping. It was like she waited weeks, okay? It finally showed up. And in the package was the little package that came in her mailbox was about the size of this book. It was this little bitty package. And she's like, surely that is not my mom's.
What? There's no way.
Because it should be like a big box or, you know, like, and she's like, okay, well, maybe they have them vacuum packed. Like they're just flowers, you know, maybe they're just, no, she pulled those out of the little envelope thing it was in. And it was like basically 3 little sections of fake flowers that were all about this long. They measured like this big. Even if you fluffed them out, it wasn't even enough to fill this vase. It wasn't even this many flowers. It was like half of that amount of flowers.
I'd have been mad.
She was mad. She was so mad.
Because how much did she pay for that?
I didn't ask her, but
I bet
they weren't super cheap.
I bet she paid $30 or $40 for it.
So she called Amazon and was like,
so mad.
What the heck? Like, I purchased this thinking it was this huge amount. Looking back, like, she double checked herself. Like, looking back, this is what it said, and this is not what was delivered. They were super apologetic. By the way, Amazon does have a phone number. You have to Google it because it's not always available on their website. But they are usually very nice, helpful people, American people that are working the phone lines and are usually very helpful. And the person she talked to was so apologetic and said, you know what? We're refunding your money, but we're not even going to waste time to have you ship those back. You can put those in a vase or whatever you want to. But
that was good.
So they refunded her.
I did that
as they should have.
Oh, yeah. I did that one time. It wasn't Amazon. It was one of those other ones that's ever, oh, no, this is great, great, great. And it was like these ginormous ferns.
Oh, uh-huh. Yeah.
And when she pulled it out, it was just like, you know, and it was like, like, oh man, because I never can really grow a fern, which my fern, I've kept 3 ferns alive this summer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You must have the perfect shady spot for them because I just can't do a fern. My porch gets too much sun.
Yeah, the back porch. Yeah, because you didn't come over swimming much this year.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, but anyway, my ferns look great, and so I'm gonna try to keep them in the sunroom.
I only swam one time this whole year, and that was on 4th of July.
That's so weird. Why?
I know.
I don't know.
Anyway, so.
Anyway, but my ferns look great. I've never been able to keep a fern through the winter, but I think maybe if I put it in my sunroom, maybe I don't know.
There's people that do it.
I know, but boy, if they start dying, I have to sweep all that up. That's when I'm like, you're out of here.
Well, here's the thing about your sunroom: it might be warm enough in there, but it might get too much sun. So they like it shady. If you could put some shade over it, put something where it's not directly in the sun in there, but still get the warmth.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna try because they bless you because they look good. But anyway, so I'm excited about that. I'm anxious to go see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I haven't even been anywhere. Have you been to Hobby Lobby or anywhere? I haven't even.
I have been to Hobby Lobby, and I hit it on a day where things are always on sale there, but they have so many beautiful fall things. And we do a Thanksgiving with another family that we love, and so I went ahead. They had all their Thanksgiving, the nice big paper plates, and they were all like 50% off. So I bought paper plates for Thanksgiving and some dessert plates and got that done, and thought, well, I might as well. This is a great price. I mean, I think it was like $3 or something for 20 plates. It came down to, they weren't very expensive ones. They were very pretty. So got all that done, and then I bought some fall decorations for my porch.
I haven't bought anything yet.
And yeah.
I haven't done anything
nice.
fall yet, but yeah, I like to get, I like see, because we're campers, so yeah, it's time for me to pull out all my fall stuff for camping. I have seasons in my camper. I have my summer stuff, and then I have my fall stuff. Yeah, because when I go camping, like I decorate my camper. My camper's like my house on the inside, and then like even on the outside,
is beautiful.
So then even on the outside, like I go get Mom's, and I have my little arrangement right there.
Yes.
And, yeah. No, I like to take my stuff. I like that pretty stuff. I like my pretty,
Yeah.
So I need to make it. I need to make a trip up there, but who knows when I'll get up there.
Let's talk about fall menu items in our homes, because we both had chili this weekend. She made chili out at the campground. I made chili at our house. It was delicious. It was the perfect evening for chili. And you know, that first chili of the season, I know there's people that eat it all year long. Stacey can do that. And honestly, I could do that too, but I don't really too much. But like that first cold evening of the fall, when you eat that first bowl of chili, man, isn't that just the best chili of the whole year?
The best chili. And mine was really good. And when we cook ours out, I make really good chili, but whenever we cook it out over that campfire and that cast iron, it is a game changer.
There's something about eating outside anyway. Just makes things taste better, doesn't it?
It was cold, and there was a fire, and we had hot dogs, and oh my gosh, it was just fantastic. And crackling fire, and it was perfect. It was literally perfect. But yeah, my chili was good this year, and it was like, is this really good, or I just was really in the mood for it? Because this is the first time I've had it. Because I got a hankering for it, but I just cooked it out. It was too hot to cook it outside. But Jim had it over the cast iron. Because I think Fort Town, they're going to do that chili cook-off again.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it's going to be done, because remember, I never done a chili cook-off before.
Right. You cooked yours at home and then took it, which was wrong.
That's wrong.
Against the rules. So
that's against
you're going to have to do it all up there.
Yeah.
I hope it's cooler this year.
I do too, because I'd be too hot. But if I do my chili up there, I want mine over the fire. So I don't know if I'll even be able to do mine, because if I can't cook mine over a fire, I don't want to do mine, because that's a game changer on my chili. And I put a roast in there with my hamburger this time, because I'd made a roast out there over the campfire in my cast iron skillet. You know, like I said, I like to cook over that fire. It's a lot of fun.
I wonder where you could have a little open fire down there downtown where they would let you.
I don't know if I can't do it over the fire. I don't want to do it.
I'm trying to think if there's any houses nearby that have a fire pit that would like let you do theirs within sight of the others, but just scooched over at the fire pit. I don't know. But
I don't know. I'll have to ask, because who does Fort Town tourism? Yeah, I'll have to find out. I'll have to snuggle up to somebody on tourism. Can I get away with having fire? Because it's a game changer. Soup over that fire. Yeah, like I said, and it's not a real. It's a pretty good size
kettle.
I'll fill that sucker up. But see, because Jim's going to be gone that day, because he's got a volleyball tournament. So then that leaves Laura Smith, because she sat there with it last time. We did it for Nostalgia Theater. And but then this time.
What day is Ford Town?
I don't know.
It's the. I believe it's the weekend I'm going to be gone. It's always my anniversary weekend, and I work in Missouri that week. So it's probably September 20th.
Is it? So literally, okay, so like the very first weekend.
It's the weekend after Cemetery Tour.
Okay.
So the first weekend of September is Junk Teak out at the fairgrounds. Love Junk Teak, okay?
And that big honkin' auction.
And there's a big auction over at Noble, but don't go to it.
You don't want to go.
Because Stacey and I are going to be there, and we want everything to go cheap.
You don't want to go. Okay. Don't go to the auction. You're not going.
The next weekend in September is Cemetery Tour. That's the 12th and the 13th. It's going to be amazing this year. Starts at 7 p.m. or it starts at 5 p.m. each night, but you can buy tickets usually around 3 or 4 people start lining up. The following weekend is Ford Town, the 20th.
I better get with it.
And I'm pretty sure that's right. And then the following weekend will be Fall Festival at Louisville and the Halloween parade at No, I'm a month off.
month off.
Sorry.
Apple Knocker.
That'll be Apple Knocker weekend.
So literally every weekend is done in September.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And that starts, after this. Okay. Yeah. I've got to get on my cemetery. I'm excited about my cemetery.
And then the first weekend in October, I don't know what's going on, but then the second week in October is homecoming.
Oh my! What?
Mm-hmm. And then the third weekend, I don't know if there's anything, and then before you know it, it's Fall Festival weekend at Louisville. So yeah.
Hey, do you have any? I'm in my skit. I wear this beautiful necklace, and so I put it on and then I take it off. Do you have like any of those like magnets? Because like I'll have my nails on, I won't be able to put it on and off. Because do you have a magnet so I can just?
No, I don't.
I bet I can order it. You think I can order? I can order.
You could probably order it, or Jim could rig you up something probably.
Yeah, because it's like my necklace comes off and on in my skit. The necklace is a very important part of my skit. So
you should come watch because it's going to be so good.
It's going to be so good. I'm excited about. I don't even know any of the other skits, but I'm involved. You're involved. Ty's involved. I mean, we got to get you involved in some of our stuff.
Abby likes to be behind the scenes, so Abby could definitely be somebody though that rides in the truck and helps hold the lights and plays the music.
Why is Jansen not involved?
I don't know. She has such two little sweet little girls, though. I think her time is busy with her little babies.
For.
True. We'll have to talk her into that.
We will have to talk her into it. Yeah, my son Connor's coming home to be in one. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it, especially if it's going to be kind of cooler weather.
I got my dress yesterday for it, so I'm excited
mine's
about
come
that.
in. My jewelry's come. I don't know. It's just something about. I got to take like a little vanity though. It's not because
I need a small kitchen table is what I need.
Yeah,
I'm going to be cooking food, and I need a little. If someone has a small table that I could put a tablecloth on and make it look like a little kitchen table.
I have a little round one in my rental.
Can I use it that weekend?
And
okay.
you can use it. It'd be cute.
Okay.
It's rental, and it's even got like and the bottom of it's like cast iron.
Okay.
Well, the legs are cast iron. It's not heavy.
As long as it's not super heavy to
it's not
tow
heavy
in and
at all.
out of there. Okay, perfect. See, we're just solving problems. But anyway, back to the conversation about food. That I am looking forward to. Like, there's some my fall menu changes a little bit. Like the things that I cook for supper, and I'm excited about that. Just not just the soups, but I love soup. I love soups too. But there's just casseroles and things. Do you feel like you do more of that in the fall and winter?
Well, there's
the
more
summer?
Baking going on in the fall because you're just too hot.
Right.
You're just. I'm a big soup eater. I eat soup every day. I've already been down at Devon's, down at Common Grounds, and been like, where's my tomato bisque soup? It is below 70 today. Where's my? He's like, calm down. He didn't say that, but he was basically like, it's coming. I'm like, well, I'm not waiting.
Yeah, I mean, September 1, regardless of if it's 90 degrees on September the 1st, there's going to be people looking for soup. That is officially soup weather.
It is soup weather.
It doesn't matter the temperature.
If it goes back up to 90, nobody cares. It's after Labor Day.
That's right.
Put your white clothes away and bring on the soup. I don't even know what time we're on. Am I over? What am I doing?
We probably need to get ready to do our ad.
Let's do this. Let's do our ad. This is a cute ad.
Oh, cute little Bam Bam.
Look how cute he is. Oh, let me pull this up. So this is, I'm strong for Karo syrup. Mom knows it's a fine, quick energy food for growing children. What? And all us youngsters love it. How to grow big and strong. I guess you're going to eat Karo syrup.
You just give them it's basically like liquid sugar.
Heck yeah, it is. Note, both light and dark Karo syrup are delicious, equally nutritious, and rich in dextrose food energy sugar. A good treat, bread and delicious Karo, sweetened cereals, fruits, and puddings, and add nutritious Karo syrup to milk and juices. Corn products refiner. Yeah, Karo's, the kid's going to grow fat is what he's going to do.
He's going to grow fat, and he's going to not have any teeth. They're all going to be rotten.
Supplies vital food energy right through life. Isn't that not the cutest little ad?
It is super cute. Karo syrup is, I wonder what year that's from. Karo syrup
it's
is
from
still
the
a thing.
60s.
Yeah. I still buy
But I'm like
Cairo
thinking,
syrup.
help them grow. Yeah, because
I use it in pecan pie. That's about all I use it
don't
for.
most people, when it comes to Cairo syrup, like that's what most people use to make their peanut butter and syrup sandwiches.
No, not me.
That's what Dorcas used at Lincoln School. That clear Cairo syrup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know that for a fact.
I like maple syrup when I do peanut butter and syrup.
Thank you. Hi. Yeah, she did. And the difference was like with I remember because asking because like they made the best. They made the best
peanut butter and syrup
sandwiches because it was like because I do it like with maple syrup because I've never and mine's runnier. Theirs was like
thicker, pastier.
Man, boy, it's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So awesome. But yeah, I thought that was cute.
That was cute.
Yeah.
So, well, we probably ought to take a commercial break, I think. So,
I'm not even sure what time we started.
Well, we started, yeah. Well, we'll be right back.
This is Christy, inviting you to wrap yourself in lasting luxury at Carnaby Square. We specialize in one-on-one customer service, high quality, head-turning, on-trend fashions, footwear, accessories, and a complete line of Brighton leather goods and jewelry. If you want to nix fast fashion and invest in a true-to-size, ethically manufactured wardrobe that you'll wear for years, it's time to treat yourself at Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. So today's episode is interesting. It's something that I came across and had never really given a lot of thought to, but the New Madrid earthquakes of 1811 and 1812.
Interesting.
These were huge earthquakes, and it affected Clay County. But
well, do you remember we've always been told we're on the New Madrid fault?
Uh-huh. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are.
And I don't even know what that really means.
Okay, well, there's two. Okay, so a fault line is like two plates of the Earth's crust or whatever where they meet, because the Earth is made up of all these different pieces that fit together like puzzles. And the New Madrid fault line is a line where two puzzle pieces are meeting up, and it goes right near us. Ty, I didn't send in any pictures, but would you pull up a picture of the New Madrid fault line, please? And we'll show that where it runs, because it affects a lot of states. So we're going to talk about the day the river flowed backwards. And I'm talking about the Mississippi River.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It reversed its flow.
Okay, that sounds like
interesting. That's a strong earthquake.
That's a strong earthquake.
But I'm gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna give you a little background first.
Yeah, give me some background.
So these were a series of earthquakes that happened. It was not just one big quake. It was a series of major earthquakes that struck between December 1811 and February of 1812. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 1811, 1812, but that's really only 3 months, December, January, February.
Right.
So within 3 months' time, they had like all of these major earthquakes, boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Basically, these plates, these that fit together like puzzle pieces, they kind of can sometimes overlap each other a little bit, and they were just kind of, I guess, falling into place, but it took several times before it finally settled down. Ty's working on getting us a picture. Okay, let's look at that one.
This is like the best one I could find.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this fault line, you can see it goes up at the top of the screen is St. Louis, and you can see that it comes really close to Clay County. because we're located just straight east of St. Louis. And then at the bottom, it goes way down into southern Arkansas, past Little Rock. So this is a big line. And so you can see that it affects, several different states. There's Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Missouri, Illinois, Ohio. All of these states can be touched by activity at the New Madrid Fault. So these three quakes that happened in 1811 and 1812, thank you, Ty, they were now estimated, of course, back then they didn't have the Richter scale, but now they're estimated to be at 7.5 to 8.0 on the Richter scale is how strong they were. That is incredible. So the epicenter was New Madrid, Missouri, but the effects were felt across Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and even Canada. So 1811, 1812. What year did Macaulay come to Clay County? Do you remember? It was,
oh, gosh.
I think it was kind of around then. I know that Flora was settled in 1854.
54.
Macaulay was there like quite a ways before.
He was there before then, but I was thinking it was the 1830s. Late 20s is what I was thinking. But
well, basically, even if he was here in 1811, there really wasn't hardly anybody here, but some Native Americans and maybe Macaulay, he might have been here, and a bunch of prairie grass and some trees. Yeah. There really wasn't anything here. But if there had been things here, they would have all toppled and been blown apart.
Yeah. Not cool.
No. So, on February the 7th of 1812, the earthquake that struck that day was the strongest in the series of the 3 months. And that is the day that portions of the Mississippi River reportedly flowed backwards for several hours.
Wow.
This happened because of uplifted land and massive waves created by the quake. Witnesses claim the river ran upstream, filled new depressions, and created temporary waterfalls. Can you imagine witnessing all of that?
Temporary waterfalls, huh?
So in this Clay County area, it said the ground cracked open and sand blows were reported in multiple counties, including near modern-day Clay County. Okay, so right here, could have been in your backyard. Who knows? Nobody was here. 1811. We had sand blows. I didn't know what sand blows were. Do you know what sand blows are? Sand blows are eruptions of sand from underground. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here's this earthquake, and then just all of a sudden, mini volcanoes of sand start shooting out of the ground. I did not even know that was a thing. Apparently, that's what happened in this area. Now, down in northwest Tennessee, the earthquakes is the same earthquakes, but just how it affected different parts. Large tracts of land sunk, and that is what created Reelfoot Lake. Have you heard of Reelfoot Lake?
I have not heard of that, no.
Reelfoot Lake is a large lake in Tennessee where people from around here will drive down there to go fishing. Has really good fishing. Jason and my dad took a trip there several years ago and went fishing. And by the way, while they were there, they saw the members of ZZ Top on the water, also fishing. They passed them by in boats, and ZZ Top waved at Jason, and they, because when you pass people on a boat, it's just the polite thing. You do like a boat wave, kind of like a Jeep wave. You do a boat wave, and Jason was like, "That was ZZ Top." But anyway.
Macaulay got here in 1810.
1810, just in time for the earthquake. So Macaulay was here with his first group of settlers that settled Clay County. So he may have seen a sand blow. I don't know.
How funny.
But that's what was happening here. But back to,
I can't get ZZ Top out of my head.
Yeah, ZZ Top. And so Jason questioned, because there was actual no 100% confirmation that was ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say, "Are you ZZ Top?
Are you ZZ?"
Come back, I want an autograph. No, it was just this,
Because it makes you wonder if they really had the real beards, if those were not just.
They did. I mean, they
really wore those.
He's like, they look exactly like ZZ Top, and then I thought they could just be some hippie that just likes to have a long beard too.
Sure.
But then he looked up pictures of ZZ Top, and it was that was ZZ Top.
Were they singing, "You got legs"?
No, they weren't singing at all. They
Every girl's crazy about a sharp dress man.
they were just fishing. So anyway,
Just a fishing.
there's
That's
a lot
great
of
story.
There's a lot of trees in Reelfoot Lake that are still there that are submerged, and they're just like really tall, all different kinds of trees. And you think, why are there so many trees still growing? Like they look like they're growing straight out of this lake, and that's because they were rooted on dry land, and then
the lake came to them.
The lake came to them.
That is craziness.
There were settlements in southern Illinois at the time, like Kaskaskia, which was the state capital at that time, and there was severe damage there with buildings, and chimneys fell, log cabins shifted off of their foundation, some collapsed. Animals were very erratic. The animals were all super freaked out.
Oh, wow.
These earthquakes were felt from the Gulf of Mexico, then we can call it the Gulf of America now.
Gulf America.
To Quebec. That's in Canada. So all the way from our very southern border to our northern border, those earthquakes could be felt. It said that the earthquakes made the church bells ring as far away as Boston.
Now that would be nice.
If there were still church bells.
I like church bells.
In Washington, D.C., the president at the time was President James Madison, and he reported that he felt the earthquake.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Do you know what number President Madison was in the lineup of presidents?
Nope, tell me. 10. Do your
Fourth.
song.
I was doing it. I couldn't remember if he was fourth or fifth. Monroe was fifth. He was fourth. Yep. Madison was fourth.
I was gonna say she has to sing her song.
Yeah, I have a song. I know them all. Let's see. So the death toll for those earthquakes, if it were to happen today, it would probably be thousands of people could possibly die if there was an earthquake that big today. But back then it was relatively low because it was sparsely populated.
Right.
The westward expansion hadn't really started too much yet, so there weren't very many people. Low population density, limited fatalities. Okay. Ty, I didn't send in any pictures, but if you Google 1811 New Madrid earthquake, there are several paintings out there depicting it, and I debated on whether to send those. You could pick one to show. Because, of course, there were no cameras. The photography hadn't been invented yet. So, the rundown of how these started were... December the 16th of 1811, then another one on December 16th, 1811, then one on January 3rd, 1812, and then the final one on February 7th of 1812. And every one of those was 7.0 or bigger.
Wow.
Some were 7.5 and 7.3. Then there were approximately 5 aftershocks.
Jeez.
Did you? Let's do that one.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, this was like the Mississippi River. So there's just, it looks like a ship that's went down, trees everywhere. Is there another one that depicts a lot of waves? Apparently the rivers were just full of huge swells of water. Okay, so the first one that struck the epicenter is in northwest Arkansas. It only caused slight damage, and it caused a seismic seiche propagated upriver.
Yeah.
whatever that means. I
know,
think
when you go
that's when
down-
the water turns and goes the other way.
When you go down, southern Illinois, and all those rocks are caved down, I wonder if it affected all that.
Yeah, there were
I mean,
severe landslides,
yeah,
and the January one, severe landslides.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if that what carved out southern Illinois. Southern Illinois is beautiful, you know.
Yeah, I don't think that was the earthquakes,
You
though.
don't
I
think
think
that
that
would've
was,
been it?
no, I think that was the Great Flood.
Yeah, I forgot about the flood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we talked about it, didn't we?
yeah, there was temporary waterfalls on February 7th on the Mississippi at Kentucky Bend, and it created huge waves, great big waves like you would see on the ocean. Yeah, here we go. Can you imagine seeing the Mississippi look like that?
No, I can't.
Yeah, that's just insane. And all the other little rivers and streams were the same. But I do we need to take a commercial break? I have some firsthand accounts of this.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll take a break.
Let's take a break and
be
come
right back.
Interesting.
At Clay County Hospital, we are dedicated to providing quality care for you and your family. Our skilled medical team is committed to your well-being, ensuring that you receive the personalized attention you deserve. From filling your prescriptions at our state-of-the-art pharmacy to a visit with our compassionate behavioral health providers, we're here to support you every step of the way in your journey. Experience the difference at Clay County Hospital, where your health is our priority. Clay County Hospital. Complete care, start to finish.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you could be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County, Farmers Mutual Insurance.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. So I'm talking about big earthquakes.
Oh, yeah.
And I have some eyewitness accounts of these big earthquakes in 1811 and 1812. The first one is from a man named John Bradbury. He was a fellow of the Linnean Society, which I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up here in a minute. He was on the Mississippi on the night of December the 15th, 1811, and he describes the tremors in great detail in his Travels in the Interior of America book that he published in 1817. And this is a direct quote from his book. After supper, we went to sleep as usual. About 10 o'clock, and in the night, I was awakened by the most tremendous noise, accompanied by an agitation of the boat so violent that it appeared in danger of upsetting. I could distinctly see the river as if agitated by a storm, and although the noise was inconceivably loud and terrific, I could distinctly hear the crash of falling trees and the screaming of the wild fowl on the river, but found that the boat was still safe at her moorings. By the time we could get to our fire, which was on a large flag in the stern of the boat, the shock had ceased, but immediately the perpendicular banks, both above and below us, began to fall into the river in such vast masses as nearly to sink our boat by the swell they occasioned. At daylight, we had counted 27 shocks. Okay, so the waves were so big that he thought the boat was going to upset or turn over, flip over, whatever, sink. And the noise was so inconceivably loud and terrific. He could hear trees falling, even though it was so loud. He could hear all the trees. And the banks, he started falling into the water. So upriver and downriver, when he's looking at the banks of the river, they're all just crashing into the water, the cliffs and the, can you imagine?
No.
I'd be worried one would fall on
That
me.
would be scary.
But him talking about the noise of the earthquake, when we had an earthquake back in 2007 ish. Do you remember?
I do. I do remember because Jim and I were in bed and we were sleeping and everything started shaking and things started kind of falling off and it woke us up. We both sat up straight out of bed and I said, "Are we having an earthquake?" He said, "I think we are." I said, "What do we do?" He said, "I don't know." And we both laid back down and went back to sleep. I don't know. I was just like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. Yeah, we did.
Well,
we literally laid back down
I was
and
taught
went
in
to sleep.
school, if there's an earthquake, you get in a door frame.
Yeah. Well, we laid back down.
Yeah.
And what's sad is we slept upstairs and the boys were downstairs.
Good luck down there, boys.
Yeah, the boys were back would have been a freshman.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what we do.
So I had a 2-year-old baby at home, and my husband was working nights, and I too was asleep. But what woke me up was the noise of it.
Yeah, it was
the
noisy.
noise. It sounded like a train that was coming through my back window into my living room.
Yeah,
it sounded like I never, up until that point, I did not know earthquakes had a noise. I mean,
just
obviously, like if
rumbling.
if a vase falls over, you would think, well, that would make noise, but you don't think about this roar louder than thunder.
You only think of that with the tornado.
Right. And that's what it
yeah.
sounded like. It was coming through our house, and it was just this enormous noise. And I grabbed my baby, and I, walked around with her and was, terrified for, 5 minutes, and then I calmed down a little bit, okay, we're fine. But and if Jason had been...
At least you found your children. We went back to sleep.
Yeah. If Jason had been home, I probably wouldn't have panicked so much. But it's why do things always happen while he's at work?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, here's another eyewitness account. This one is from Eliza Bryan. She was in New Madrid, Missouri Territory. So she's at the epicenter of March 1812. This was the largest one. This is the one they think is probably more like an 8 on the Richter scale. On the 16th of December, 1811, I said March, but she's talking about December. Oh, she wrote it in March, but she's reflecting back on the one from December. On the 16th of December, 1811, about 2:00 a.m., we were visited, which is a weird way to say it, we were visited by a violent shock of an earthquake, accompanied by a very awful noise resembling loud but distant thunder, but more hoarse and vibrating, which was followed in a few minutes by the complete saturation of the atmosphere with sulfurous vapor, causing total darkness. The screams of the affrighted inhabitants running to and fro, not knowing where to go or what to do, the cries of the fowls and beasts of every species, the crackling of trees falling, and the roaring of the Mississippi, the current of which was retrograde for a few minutes, owing, as is supposed, to an eruption in its bed, formed a scene truly horrible. So she's at the epicenter. She's also talking about the beasts and the birds and the noise. But the sulfurous vapor sounds horrible. So it came from the ground. So it maybe was similar to sulfur is, you think of like a volcano or something, but the earth is opening up and these fumes are coming out. Sulfur is just blah.
It's like Decatur. Man, that paper.
Yeah. You can keep believing that if you want to. Okay. Here's another eyewitness account. John Reynolds, the 4th governor of Illinois, mentions the earthquake in his biography called My Own Times, embracing also the history of my life. On the night of the 15th of December, 1811, an earthquake occurred that produced great consternation among the people. The center of the violence was in New Madrid, Missouri, but the whole valley of the Mississippi was violently agitated. Our family all were sleeping in a log cabin, and my father leaped out of bed, crying aloud, "The Indians are on the house!" We laughed at the mistake of my father, but soon found out it was worse than the Indians. Not one in the family knew at the time that it was an earthquake. The next morning, another shock made us acquainted with it, so we decided it was an earthquake. The cattle came running home, bellowing with fear, and all animals were terribly alarmed on the occasion. Our house cracked and quivered, so we were fearful it would fall to the ground. In the American bottom, many chimneys were thrown down, and the church bell in Cahokia sounded by the agitation of the building. It is said the shock of an earthquake was felt in Kaskaskia in 1804, but I did not perceive it. The shocks continued for years in Illinois, and some have experienced it this year, 1855. So what's interesting about that is he's saying the aftershocks lasted up until 1855. Mm-hmm. It was like 40 years.
That's 40 years.
That's crazy. You don't hear much about that.
No.
And his dad thought the Indians were on the house, which...
That's funny.
You know, back then, the Indians were a threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was no one, not like you had close neighbors. They're probably living out in the boonies out of nowhere. And this happens. Well, you jolt out of bed and don't know what's happening.
Right.
In fact, they didn't even really know what an earthquake was until the next day when there was another one. And then they kind of figured it out. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't that be something to not even really know?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
That's weird.
I mean, like you and Jim didn't really know what was happening.
We didn't know.
But you were like, guess it's an earthquake.
Guess it's an earthquake.
But these people are just never...
It's new.
Yeah, it's new. Completely new.
And it's way more than what we've dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
That's craziness.
So, there was just a lot of landslides and riverbank collapses, trees uprooted, people drowned when the land flooded. Reelfoot Lake was formed, and people drowned there as that was being formed. Sand and coal were ejected from fissures, and water levels rose by 8 to 9 meters in a lot of places. The waves on the Mississippi caused the boats to wash ashore. Sandbars were destroyed. Some islands were completely destroyed. The sand blows in our area and in Missouri and Tennessee and Arkansas completely covered the farmland. So if there were any farmers that were starting a crop, which a lot of times their crops were only like an acre or two at that time, gone, covered with sand.
Yeah.
I didn't even...
Yeah.
Yeah. The trees that weren't uprooted were tilted. So they were growing now like a curve, kind of. Anyway.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So back in 1990, do you remember the prediction that there was going to be a large, horrible earthquake?
We should not even be here, right?
We were all going to die.
We were all going to die.
There was going to be thousands of casualties. Do we need to take a commercial break?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'll continue this part of the story when I come back. Yeah. Be right back.
Since 2004, Ed Lewis Trucking has been moving America forward. Family owned and built on values that matter. Reliability, hard work, and service you can count on. From dry van freight to dump and hopper bottoms, plus top-tier truck maintenance in their state-of-the-art shop that's open to all truckers, not just their own fleet. They're growing stronger, expanding with their recent acquisition of McKinney Trucking, but never losing sight of what drives them. It's Ed Lewis Trucking, family-driven, service-proven. Call Ed Lewis Trucking at 618-686-3555.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Jimmy ordered lumber, doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, Jimmy ordered guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We're talking about earthquakes, and we're talking about the big ones that struck the New Madrid fault line in 1811 and 1812. But also, right before we went to break, I brought up the big prediction in 1990 about the earthquake that was going to strike, and we were all going to die.
We're going to die. Yeah, I was praying to Mac when all that happened. So
I was in 5th grade at Westside Elementary School in Harrisburg, Illinois. And our teachers in our school had a lot of prep work. We all had to bring in gallons of distilled water to store in every classroom. Every classroom had to have X amount of distilled water in it. And then also had to have like X amount of like, not like dried foods, but like snacks, nuts, and things stored in every classroom. So we had a big chunk, because Harrisburg is further south than here.
It's further south,
We were right on the New Madrid fault line, is what we were told. We were right there, and we had to take it very seriously. Okay, so if you're not familiar with this and you block this out of your mind, it was December of 1990. Iben Browning was a self-proclaimed climatologist. Self-proclaimed. If I was going to write a book, Dear America, why did you listen to a self-proclaimed climatologist in 1990? And why are you still listening to self-proclaimed climatologists in 2025? Some of this stuff is just so crazy.
People just didn't understand what self-proclaimed meant.
I'm going to self-proclaim a lot of things.
Me too.
I
should, because I know everything.
Yeah. I'm a climatologist, actually. Yeah. Did you know that about me?
You're self-proclaimed.
I proclaim that I am, and I proclaim that no one should predict major earthquakes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy, Iben Browning, predicted a major earthquake along the New Madrid seismic zone, specifically around December the 3rd. Why? How? How would you say, and he did this way in advance. So it's like, okay, yeah.
Did he watch Tremors?
He
must have watched the movie Tremors.
This is going to happen on December the 3rd. So, this prediction caused a media frenzy and public anxiety, particularly in New Madrid, Missouri, and surrounding areas. However, the predicted earthquake did not occur, and Browning's methods were not accepted by the scientific community, no doubt. Okay, so he was actually a zoologist who had become a self-taught climatologist. He predicted a 50% or greater chance of a magnitude 6 to 7 earthquake in the New Madrid area. He linked this to tidal forces on December 2nd, claiming they would trigger a large earthquake. The prediction garnered national attention and led to widespread public concern and preparation, including the stockpiling of emergency supplies, which caused...
They do that.
And then now you're affecting the economy and everything, okay?
Yep.
Maybe
that's what that was for. Maybe he was paid off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While scientists did not outright dismiss the possibility of an earthquake, they were skeptical because of Browning's methodology, which was not published or peer-reviewed because, he was self-proclaimed. They pointed out that the earthquake prediction is a complex field and that Browning's approach was not scientifically sound. But the predicted earthquake did not materialize, and it still hasn't materialized, and this was in 1990, and now it's 2025, so, yes, we're probably due for an earthquake at some point. It could happen. I'm never going to say, well, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen
on April the 10th, no.
Mother Nature will do what she wants to do.
But the event is remembered as a false alarm that highlighted the public's vulnerability to misinformation. And the challenges
it's been going on for a moment
of earthquake prediction. So the aftermath of that is that the incident led to discussions about the role of media in sensationalizing predictions and the public's response to such events. Yeah, let's not sensationalize any of that. So let's check on Iben Browning. He passed away in 1991 in July. So actually, he only lived 6 months after his failed prophecy here. He had various failed predictions of disasters involving climate, volcanoes, earthquake, and government collapse. Can we...
Let's show a picture
Let's show a picture of Iben Browning. It's I-B, as in boy, E-N, Browning, Ty. He was born in Texas.
Iben?
Iben.
Iben Browning.
Mm-hmm.
I've been Browning. I've been
Browning.
I've been Browning hamburger. Okay. Would you trust him? No. Yeah, I look like I'm going to trust him.
Pseudoscience is what it was referred to. He wrote 4 books. He held 90 patents. He served as a climatologist and business consultant to Payne Weber in various scientific and engineering fields. He had 1 daughter. He was married. He died of a heart attack. But it doesn't say anything about his other failed predictions, only that there were others.
Wow.
But yeah, he, what a guy, you know? So when that day rolled around at Harrisburg West Side School, did you know that there were parents that chose not to send their kids to school that day? They kept them home.
Oh, I can imagine.
And actually, I stayed home that day. I didn't go that day because
imagine.
almost everybody in my class was not going. And I remember telling my
be the only
mom,
one there.
I'm like, I don't think anybody's going. And like, so she asked like all of the other mom friends, like, hey, are you sending your kid? And they were all like, no, no, we're not. And so I stayed home. I went to work that day with my mom and dad.
Well, I mean, they
stayed
had the
nearby.
panic going.
Yeah, and of course nothing happened. It was a great day for me, you know, just hanging out with mom and dad at work. But the kids that did go to school that day wore football helmets all day long. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Their parents sent them to school with football helmets and bicycle helmets, although bicycle helmets were not common. It was much more common to have a football helmet hanging around in your garage than a bicycle helmet because nobody wore those in the 80s. I know this was 1990, but it was still the 80s, basically.
Funny, though.
Nobody had those. But there were kids that were walking around all day at school with a football helmet on. And there wasn't hardly anybody there. I mean, we all talked about it, you know, when we got back.
Funny.
Yeah, but then everybody went, you know, the next day to school, and it was like what if he was off by 12 hours? Then we're, you know, but it never happened.
One of my favorite memes to come across is like different between raising kids today and in the 80s. It's like, oh, by the way, this is not a drill. There's an F5 tornado coming our way. Go to the hallway, put your social studies book over your head, and we're having pizza for lunch.
Yes, that's so true.
It's so true.
I can remember being in the hallways and like book overhead,
huddled
down, storm blows past, you hear the thunder, the lightning, the horribleness, the wind, and then it's like, okay, all clear. Let's go to lunch. Nobody's mom came and picked him up. Nobody checked in. It was like, well, you know, the schools were just safe.
Well,
like
they're
in the hallway.
They're in a hallway.
Yeah, that school's been there forever.
It always cracks me up too because it's the other thing. It's like, really, do you want to, like, just your kid's safer at the school than they are in
driving
your car.
back and forth. Yeah,
I never panicked like that when anything was going on. I don't think I ever did it. I don't know. I don't remember. My kids are getting too old. My baby Connor's going to be 31 in a couple of days.
I did sign. I did sign one of the kids out early one day just because there was like this huge rain coming, and it was like I don't want to get soaked.
Yeah,
because
you did it for your own benefit,
for my own good. Because like back, and I don't know what it's like at the grade school now, but you couldn't. Just like wait in the parking lot for your kid to walk out. Like you had to physically get out of the car and walk up to the door.
Oh, really?
And then stand out there, and then they would send the kid out, but they had to like see you before they sent your kid out.
That stuff started. I remember having to do that with the boys.
My kids were smart enough they could find me. But
yeah, but I think
whatever,
it had something
I had to
do
follow
with,
the rules.
I think it had something to do with, yeah.
Somebody always ruins it for everybody else.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I can't remember, but I think whenever you picked up your kids,
it was
very rarely did I ever pick up the boys because they rode the bus to Mary's. On Mondays, I picked them up because they didn't go to Mary's, and I remember I had to like walk up and get them.
Yeah, well, it was
even
getting ready to pour buckets. I mean, you could just see it coming, and I signed. I don't even remember which kid it was, but I signed. I think it was one of the girls signed her out.
You're like, I'm not getting out.
Like 20 minutes early. I'm like, no, we're leaving now because I'm not getting all wet standing out there waiting on her.
Yeah. I don't. Like I said, I don't remember. But
not
that's
because
funny.
Yeah.
Can you just see the 5 kids that were in the school wearing helmets?
Yeah.
And they're boys. They're probably tackling
and they didn't
each other
do anything
in the hallway.
all day. Like they didn't have lessons or anything because the teachers were like, "What's the point? Everybody's gone."
And the
so
teachers
I think they
were
just
probably
watched
a little bit
movies.
freaking out anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder if how many of them were panicking.
Yeah, they were all walking around in their black hose and their black pumps and their long skirts that they had to wear. Like nobody wore cute shirts that said, you know, "Go Sports" or whatever. It was just like
teachers
you had
up.
to dress businessy, you know, and they were all
teachers dressed up.
Yeah, but
that's
it
so
makes
funny.
me wonder, like, what happened to those bajillion gallons of distilled water? We seriously,
Right.
each classroom was stockpiled big time. Like, we had to move everything around in our classroom
if you did get stuck in there, you want kids to have protein and water. It's pretty. It's better to be safe than sorry.
And there was something
I
about the
agree with
window.
that, yeah.
Like, our classrooms were all like triangle shaped, and then there was only like 2 windows in each classroom, and they were at the point of the triangle that pointed out to the outside of the building. And something about those windows had to be like cracked open or something. We had to put some kind of sign on them about how many students were there, or something, like for rescue, like when they come rescue us from the
you want to be
earthquake.
Prepared.
And and back then you didn't sugarcoat things for kids. Like today, if that were to happen today,
Lord.
they wouldn't even tell the kids the truth. They wouldn't tell them what was really going on. They'd be like, "We're taking extra precautions because it's a new state law."
Yeah.
Or they'd tell them something. They wouldn't. No, our teachers were like, "Yeah, this dude said there's going to be thousands of people that die on December the 3rd, so we have to have extra
the earth
water."
is going to open up, and you're going to get swallowed like Jonah the whale.
That was the difference in parenting / teaching then versus now.
Well, because we weren't soft.
No.
Now
that's
you're
what made us
soft.
tough.
We must make us tough.
We're like, oh crap. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bring in a gallon of distilled water. Then I'll tell my mom and dad to buy distilled water. We need it.
Yeah, that's the difference in the generation.
Difference. So
it's all changed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, natural disasters are totally different than.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I have faith in our buildings were built to stand a lot more than newer schools. But a lot of the schools are. I don't know. But yeah, that is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting times. But anyway, so that's the story of the earthquakes in the early 1800s in Clay County.
Yeah.
Sand explosions.
Now that's
here.
kind of interesting. That would be interesting to see.
Well,
I would
from
have never
a distance,
thought. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be there. Like the earth opens up and blows sand. I don't even like sand.
No, I don't either. Have you ever had sand in your eye? It hurts.
Yeah.
There's nothing more. I hate it when you're on the beach. Somebody picks up and decides to flop off their towel. It's like.
Yeah. Why do you do that?
It's like, don't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Because you just got sand. Literally, that sand just hit the airwaves and just went in like 1,000 people's.
No kidding.
Yeah, I have my moments.
Okay, so let's end on something funny from Bill Engvall.
Let's do here. I was sitting in my easy chair with a book the other day when a friend walked in the front door and asked, "Are you reading that book?" I said, "Nope. I'm waiting for a fly to land on it so I can squish him."
Oh, okay.
And then the illustration's a guy going,
yeah.
That stuff's exploding.
He is a quick thinker, that Bill Engvall.
Yep. Now that I've been doing these, I'm finding myself
wanting to say that to people.
I'm coming up with my own here's some kind stuff. It's like,
but you can't say that in real life without people being like, "You're a jerk."
I do it.
Yeah.
My what's broken. But anyway, that's it. We're out of time. We're way out of time.
Yeah.
We just got to say goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
God bless you. Have a great day.